And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quivz here. Quivz does stuff. Playing Icarus again. Done all my domestic chores today. Done my shopping. Done all my washing. Delivered all my Christmas presents. For those who are getting them, congratulations. Since I won't see you Christmas Day. Right, let's actually get the game capture up because it's not currently capturing, which is, yes, one of the things. So in the bottom left there, as you can see, I have a level 5 character. I also have a level 19 character, so I've sort of moved ahead a little bit. Why is YouTube struggling? Twitch is not having any problems. YouTube was having some serious problems. It appears to be okay now. Hopefully they caught all that. Anyway, yeah, so a level 5 character and level 19 character. But we're going to be continuing with that level 5 character, and we're going to pretend we don't have a level 19 character to some extent. I am going to, of course, use the knowledge that I've gained from moving along all the way to level 19 and the mission that we're about to do. So let's jump to full screen and get Icarus up in that as well. Oh, hey Jonathan, welcome back. Yeah, Icarus. So let's dive on in. So this character, I don't think any of my characters are currently in a prospect. So I do have money. I don't know if that's shared across all your characters. I think it is. Because I've got things unlocked, which means I'll have things available. And even the missions apparently are shared. Right. So the first thing we did was beachhead recon. Basically just go down, it's a very small amount of tutorial. Now the next thing you could do, no you can't, because you have to do this one first. So I think you have to finish this one. Once you finish this one, it does unlock this one, which is basically that one again, which is weird. I don't understand, like it has no purpose. It does nothing. You just basically go down to the forest again and run around and do whatever the hell you feel like doing. But, you know, it's there if you want. However, this is the one you have to do next.
Legos unit runs Icarus.
I'm going to talk over the top.
But most of this planet's still a blank.
It's a very simple mission. You basically just have to run to 3 locations.
Drop zones, which means getting terrain scans.
Oh, come on, stop talking already.
And they'll pay for the privilege. Just set up a radar at 3 locations.
Set up a radar.
And come back alive.
And then come back. You get 6 days. 7 days. So it's a good one if a lot of people don't have that much time to play. So if you can only play like a couple of hours a week, missions like this is probably your friend because you get 7 days. So if you can like play for an hour on Saturday and an hour on Sunday, you've got till the next Saturday and Sunday to finish it, or you've got till the next Saturday to finish it, sort of thing. No, it's not free. It is, I don't know how much it is. It's like 40-50 bucks Australian. A Steam store page. Might be more than that actually, I'm not sure. It is $42.95 Australian. That's about $30-ish, $35-ish American, I would say. Best guess. It is still in early access. It was very buggy at release. It is getting less and less buggy by the day. They release hotfixes and content updates. Well, so far they've done it every week, but that's because it's been 1 week. But hey, things that were bugged before, not bugged anymore. So I play in offline mode. You could play online as well. It works best in teams of 4, but you can play solo, which is how I play in offline mode. Originally, the major bug in offline mode was you could complete missions and you wouldn't get the reward. You'd just get nothing. You'd finish it, it'd accept that you've done everything and give you nothing. But they fixed that very quickly because that was very annoying. All right, so we're going to claim this prospect, which means we are going to choose this as our mission. Wow, why is only the pickaxe there and not the other things? Probably because they're in the other characters' things. Other characters' dropship. But that's fine, because we were going to pretend we don't have these. So these are rewards that you get later, like you can spend money on them later. But pretending that we're level 5 and we've just done the tutorial mission and leveled up to level 5 within the tutorial mission, We're now going to go down and level up. We should get close to 10, if not fully 10, during the course of this mission. We're going to take nothing, as if we haven't been able to afford anything yet, because we haven't made any money yet, technically. We shouldn't have. Right, we'll make it private, and yes. Right, hopefully I don't have any frame rate issues and stuff, which I've had before, but I think I've turned the graphics down a little bit. I've adjusted the FPS to match the stream rate, so I shouldn't have major problems in regards to that. Let's just lock this microphone in place, it's a bit wobbly. Right, so this is a relatively simple mission, but if you are doing this for the first time and you are level 5 like I am, I really recommend you sort of overdo the mission. If you don't have time, you could totally do this in like an hour and a half by running. You can just run from point A to point B to point C to back to point A and then to point D because of the way they're laid out, and finish the mission. You might get stuck at night, so you might have to at least build a basic shelter and a bedroll to pass the night.
Icarus ain't always going to be so empty.
But
the UDA wants
it also behooves you to actually sort of properly play it and try to get a few levels while you're in here, if you're only level 5. So I'm going to grab a bit of everything that I need.
The unit wants scans from 3 locations on your map.
Right, I need a bit more
You'll be
stone.
heading into uncharted territory, but that's exactly why we need the data.
I
Think you
have
can handle
no
it?
idea what
Well,
things this character
either
has
way,
available. It's
too
been a long
late
time
now.
since I've looked at it.
Good luck.
Do I have enough for a pick yet? Crafting, I do not. I still need 3 more stones to craft a pick, with which I can then make more stones. Right, let's get that up first, because that's going to be the most useful one. Let's get a bow, since we can already. And let's max out those arrows, because a couple of them would be good. Right, first things first, I'm definitely going to need more stone, so I can make the other tools. So yeah, it's a basic survival crafting game. It works like most of the survival crafting games you've seen. Build that. I'm going to need one of those until I can get a bone one, and then we'll add a few more arrows. Right, one more arrow. Right, down by the water's edge is where I'm going to set up camp. So my dropship is over there. I don't even need any more of that. Now, previously I did show you that it is very, very possible to just hollow out a rock and live inside the rock. That works perfectly fine. Do that if you wish. However, you don't get a lot of experience for that. You get a lot of experience for crafting things. So let's build an actual house with everything that we're going to need inside of it. And that should actually, you know, level us up a little bit higher. Alright, gonna grab some oxide because you always need some of that. Oxygen being a resource on this game. Right, nice spot here. We'll grab these berries as well, just because they're kind of in the way too. Right, so let's see what we can build. Okay, we can definitely build wood, so we have gotten that far. We've unlocked the wood stuff. So we need to then chop down the tree, just clear some of this crap out of the way. The closest comparisons for a game, I would say, is it's probably more Ark than anything else that I've played in a survival crafting game scenario. It doesn't have the tames that Ark has. So what else is there? I mean, I've got a lot of survival crafting games. It's definitely not Conan. Not Planet Explorers. What is that one called? Planetary Nomads? That's kind of close. So you are from a technological age, but because you're thrown down onto the planet with nothing, you basically start at the Stone Age primitives and move up from there. I wasn't sure if that was a wolf or not, so yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I would say there's a game called Planetary Nomads or Planet Nomads. It's kind of more like that because especially the technology level, the way that you progress. In fact, Planetary Nomads, you progress much faster. It's like all tech almost straight away, whereas this is very low tech for a very long time. You move up in tech quite slowly. And it's very expensive to go up technology levels as well. Yeah, I would say Ark without the dinosaurs. It does still seem to be frame skipping really badly. What's happened? My graphics settings changed. VSync is on. VSync should be off and the frame limit should be 60. Maybe that'll work better. Alright, yeah, not really. Okay, I have no idea why it's running so badly. Maybe we can fix that, but we'll do it later. We'll get sort of started and then we'll... Once we've got a bit of a base, we'll have a look at it and see what's going on. Alright, so pretty simple. You've got to make some sort of house. Don't worry too much if it sticks into the terrain a little bit. You just don't want it to be a lot. I find that a 3x3 is sort of enough space to get everything done. Craft a wall. It does that cool thing that Conan does. If you've got a wall on your quick bar, and I use it. Let's face the water and let's put it on one edge. So with this selected, you hold R and it gives you a selection of other shapes you can use. And I'm going to want a door here. So I'll put that door there. Now, like I said, it does... Ooh, quick. No, you saw me. Damn. Oh, I could have killed that. Would have been useful. I had a wall on my quick bar, but I don't have any other walls in my inventory. If I want to now build another wall, I can just hit 5 on my quick bar, so long as I have the materials to produce one. It will automatically make it. Very nice, handy feature. It uses a lot of features that you've come across in other games very well. So, for example, even the Minecraft, when you're sneaking, you can't fall off edges. And I mean, this is voxel-based like Minecraft, but Minecraft is block voxel-based. This is like full geometry voxel based, but you still, if you are on the edge of a cliff or something, and you are creeping stealth, you don't fall off. The dangers are wild animals and the occasional alien monster. I've only seen one kind of alien monster, and that is in the caves. When you go into the caves, there are these weird worms that live in the caves, but you have to go into the caves because that's where the more expensive resources are. So things like iron and whatnot don't just hang around like they do in some games. You have to go into essentially a mini dungeon to get them. And other than that, of course, there's the standard survival dangers, which is you get hungry, you get thirsty, and in this case, you also run out of oxygen. Because despite the fact that this planet looks like Earth, it's the sort of on purpose that it looks like Earth. Like they were originally going to terraform it. And then I think the company that was terraforming it ran out of money or something. I can't remember. Or no, there was a massive disaster on the planet. And that sort of halted the terraforming. But then they found out that the reason for the disaster is there's this cool rare elements. Is that a wolf? There he is, yeah. Okay, so that is, for example, the wolf. And he will attack me if he sees me. But if I can stealth him, he won't be a problem. The thing is, where you see one wolf, you're very likely to see another wolf. And especially if you leave corpses lying around. If you leave corpses lying around, you generally find more wolves, because the wolves smell it and come looking for them. Yes, you can also break down the bones of a corpse with your knife as well for extra bone. Bone is very useful. I think we should have enough bone now for a bone knife. We don't. That's a shame. I really need one of those. We have sort of started collecting enough. I don't know what saw me. Hopefully it was a deer or something. Some of this, we can make a piece of armor at least. And then we'll save the rest. Yeah, we'll just make the chest. That auto-equips, if you're not wearing anything, you auto-equip your initial armor. Right. Oh, yeah, there we go. Wall. Right, so a la Minecraft, if you don't have a bed... I don't have enough... What don't I have enough of? Don't have enough fiber. If you don't have a bed, you respawn in a random location near the basic spawn. So it'll be close-ish to your drop pod. Not that close, but close-ish. The bed doesn't work unless it's sheltered, so you need to have a roof, which is why we are building this house, because without it, we don't have a roof. It will not accept the bed. I also don't have enough stuff for the bed yet. So this is the best, simplest house I've been able to make. It's always too wide, and you sort of make it different lengths. Why can't I make another one yet? Fiber again. You make it different lengths depending on how much stuff you want to put in it, but the simple lean-to roof, where you can just make two, like one that goes that way and one that goes that way, appears to be the simplest sort of roof one can make that's definitely going to give you enough shelter. Now, you don't need to close off the ends. I will be closing off the ends. I will demonstrate when I get there, but you don't need to close off that end. This is still sheltered enough. But we're going to be closing off those ends anyway, because otherwise, for the purposes of storms, the other danger on the planet, it's going to be pretty hazardous. Right, more wood. We don't have enough wood yet. So yeah, typical survival crafting game. It's a bit grindy. It gets a little bit easier, but not really. And you kind of have to do this every time. Because every time you come down for a new prospect, i.e. a new mission, sometimes the physics goes wonky, which I find hilarious. And annoying, because sometimes the wood drops through the world. Every time you come down for a new prospect, a new mission, everything that you did before is gone. So you have to rebuild your base every time. You have to collect new materials and resources every time. It seems weird, and it seems annoying at first, but it's how this game works. And after a little bit, you're sort of like, okay, I get it. It's not... It's somewhat unique, and it's not the greatest way to play the game, but it works. And you will get to know the map as well, because there's only like so many maps, and they're all sort of kind of the same. There's different spots on the map, but yeah, there's like... I've only seen the forest so far. There's one map. There are several biomes. I believe there's desert and snow as well. And there are, of course, the caves within those maps, which, you know, give you some variation too. There are other pieces you can make, you know, corners and whatnot. You can learn a whole assortment of building pieces. If you're one of those people that likes to build, they cater for that. There is a particular prospect that is just always open. It's just, you know, it lasts forever. You can build on there. You can go crazy down there. I think you still need to harvest all the things. Yeah, so the angled walls, I do need to change it to actually get a different angled piece. Right, so now we have a fully enclosed building, which is great. So I need leather. I do need stone, and I can at least make a campfire, and we can cook our first food. And we should be able to kill this deer. Got it. Headshots are respected. Headshots do more damage than body shots. There are also criticals, which are a percentage chance. You can increase your percentage chance with both skills and higher tiers of weaponry. If you skin an animal that has an arrow sticking out of it, you will get the arrow back in the loot screen. Should make a door. And eventually a loot box, but we'll get to that. The knife is pretty exceptional. The knife should be your primary weapon. I find that it does the most damage. The bow is good if you can stealth something from a distance. Good for the neutral creatures. But for the wolves, once they've spotted you, go to the knife. The knife does a surprisingly large amount of damage. Right, let's rearrange our inventory as well so we've got things in the regular order. Most things have a right click as well, not here but here. So you can destroy, it'll give you back some resources, and you can repair, which will cost you normally one of some kind of resource, normally the resource it's made of, and give you however many back. Alright, I'm using up all my bone here, which maybe I shouldn't be doing, but whatever. So the bone knife, better than the stone knife. So I'm going to destroy my stone knife, and as you can see, it gives me back a little bit of those resources. But the bone knife is better. The bone knife also lets you carve up animals better. So it's always good to go up a tier if you can. But be careful. Some tiers are... For example, when you get to the iron tier, iron isn't that common. I mean, it's common enough, but it's not so common that you can just waste it. So if you're going to be using iron tools, be aware that when those tools break, you're going to have to find more iron to repair those tools. You can't just repair them. I can't get that bit of stuff. You can't just repair them with readily available materials. You have to repair them with the just as difficult to obtain materials as it was to build it in the first place. You can hear wolves in the distance, so there is a wolf around. They do let you know they're coming. I don't know if bears let you know they're coming. Bears are very dangerous by comparison. I don't know if bears make a noise so obviously apparent from a distance. Now, fire. Things can catch fire. Very easily things can catch fire. You have to be quite careful. What was half a stack? Was it control? No, control moves it immediately. Shift. Shift is half a stack. Right, control, activate. Alright, we'll start cooking some of that. Now, we are extremely thirsty, we are hungry, and we have no oxygen. So, going to drink. Drinking straight from the water carries the risk, oh, we're out of bone as well, carries the risk of parasites. You can get a parasite which will, I think it just reduces your stamina. It's not horrible, but yes, you can get a parasite. You can also develop cures. It's over there. You might have gone all the way around me, I think. But yeah, I definitely need more bone and stuff. Let's start crafting the rest of my armor, because now that I have a bone knife, or bone sickle, getting fiber is now super easy. Alright, so the legs, arms, and the head. Excellent. Right. So now I do need more bone. Okay, I'm hungry, but alright, well, let's eat this stack of berries first. And we'll eat all our oxide. And now I'm not so hungry. You'll notice the berries also gave me a buff in the bottom left. You can stack a few different food buffs, so if you eat a varied diet, you actually stack a bunch of buffs together. Always useful. I do need to hunt some stuff because I need more bone, so I need to find something to kill. So I'm going to go walk about and see if I can find something. Oh, there's him all the way across there, but no, we'll go up here. There's often stuff around the edge. It's hard though, because often they see you before you see them. So here's some pumpkins. You can farm. The farming is extremely slow, but there are certain things. So for example, the squash, the pumpkin, it's just a decent food, and it stacks with berries and meat. So it makes for a decent meal. What else is there? I don't think you get more berries by using this. No, in fact, you don't even get berries by using that. That's very annoying. What was I looking at? Oh yes, this oxide rock. The pumpkin's not a great farming one. Wheat is pretty good because you can make bread later, which is an extremely good meal and gives you a pretty good buff. It's also the key ingredient for health potions, or one of the 2 key ingredients for health potions. So wheat is going to be extremely useful. So try not to waste wheat early in the game and save it for later in the game when you kind of need it. It is kind of fun. It's got a, I wouldn't call it a learning curve, more a, you have to be okay with the gameplay mechanic in that everything resets when you leave. You've got these sessions. They're similar to World of Warcraft and raids. Like, you know, while you're in there, there's the thing going on, but once you leave, it's as if you were never there and it all starts again. Alright, I don't want to actually lose track of my base, so I'd better put a thing on my house. You can only have 1 map marker as well, or if you can have more than 1, I don't know how to do it. I do hope that they add more map markers, because 1 map marker is insufficient. There's definitely been times when I've wished I could have had more than 1. Like, especially, I often have multiple, and I'm going to be doing it in this one. I'm definitely going to have multiple houses in this one. Yeah, let's just make sure. The map always takes a little bit to refresh. Waiting, waiting. There it goes. You can zoom a little bit and zoom out a lot. Now, I believe this is the full expanse of the map. It's huge. It's massive. It takes a long time. My house is there. Excellent. Right. I need to find either that damn wolf who keeps howling or an unaware deer. I think the fish also give you bone, but I need that leather too, because until I get a bed, I don't have a respawn point. So, when you die, if you're in multiplayer, you can wait for a team member to revive you. Get a set amount of time, like a timer, and if they get to you, they can revive you within that time. I don't know if that uses items or anything, because obviously I haven't played this in multiplayer. It's still running so badly, and I don't know why. Like, the stream looks terrible. What if I... Sometimes that works. I don't know. Oh, look. Watermelon. Watermelon also carries the risk of parasites, which is weird, but oh well. It carries the risk of parasites. Here's sulfur. Sometimes you need sulfur. I'm going to grab some because sometimes you need sulfur. Now you have a limited number of inventory slots and a limited weight carrying capacity. You can increase both, the weight being the easiest because that is skills that you can unlock, perks. The slots, so far I've only seen backpacks, and the backpacks take up the G slot on my quick buy inventory right at the end, the yellow highlighted one. Whew. That was kind of hard. Aha. So one of the bugs and one of the ones that they haven't fixed yet is that there's always these little spots where a lot of wildlife just gets stuck. Sometimes it'll be wolves, sometimes it'll be deer. But if you know where they are... Ooh, crap. If you know where they are, you can make use of them. Alright, so I just leveled up. Yep, I was going to say, there's always more than one wolf. Oh, I missed him. Oh, no. So yeah, like I said, the knife, because the knife is brutal. Does a lot of damage, makes it very easy. Later on, you don't lose any character progress if you leave a prospect. You lose any building progress. Now you can quit to desktop and you won't lose your progress for the prospect that you're in. Whoops. You only lose progress if you go back up to the mothership. So you can abandon a prospect. But I can quit the desktop and come back later and play this prospect and load this character, and it'll tell me if I continue the prospect that I'm in. You can also abandon a prospect. I don't know what happens if you abandon your prospect. I wouldn't recommend it. But you can abandon a prospect. But you can also rejoin a prospect that you started earlier. It's just that a real amount of time will actually have passed. So if it says you've got 7 days and you come back in 4 days, you'll have 3 days left to finish the prospect that you started. All your buildings and stuff will still be there so long as you haven't left the prospect via the dropship or abandoned it from the main menu screen. But yeah, the game doesn't have a persistent world. It has... what's the word for it, please? It's like I said, it's like a raid. While you're in there, it stays there. But once you're out, it's gone. And being in there, you don't have to be online to be in there. If your character was left in there, it stays there. Nothing happens to your character while in the world. In multiplayer, I believe that might be different, because if other characters join in the world, I don't know if your body persists in the world or not. I haven't actually done multiplayer, so I don't know. But in single player, you know, nothing happens to you. You're just absent, basically. We'll eat the watermelon, we'll eat the stack of berries. The berries give you a little bit of water, so they're kind of convenient in that regard. Right, build a few more things that we need. So I definitely need one of those and one of those. So before you could see that I ate the oxide, which works. It gives you, you know, oxygen. It replenishes your oxygen. Let's put our bed right here next to the door. Possibly not safe, but oh well, that's where I'm going to put it for now. But you can use this oxidizer, and what the oxidizer does is it actually allows you to get more out of the oxide by processing it. So you press F to add oxide, you fill it up with 10 oxide, and this balloon here fills up. And then you can press F to consume the oxygen. See? And I'm now at full oxygen, but I've now used one of the oxide, so I can add more oxide again, and you just keep doing that until you've got everything that you need. I don't really need to eat that right now, so let's not eat that right now. Let's build ourselves a storage crate, because we've got a few things now that we don't want to be carrying with us. I don't really want to be carrying that. Put those in there because they're just sticks. And I'll leave, let's say, half my oxide here as an emergency supply in case I need it later. Right. I haven't turned this into my spawn point. Press F and hold. Most things can be picked up again as well, including the building pieces. But the only way to pick up a building piece is to actually have a building piece in your hand. Oh, I did not notice I'm bleeding. So I have a wound buff, but I do know how to make a basic bandage, which is how one counters that. Click and hold. And that debuff goes away. A lot of things have spoil timers as well. Yeah, it's going to be getting dark soon, so I don't really want to be going wandering at this late point at night. So this is yeast. It's yeast. You can make basic bread later on, and you can make better bread later than that with the addition of yeast. But they do have to be learned. Right, so let's have another look at the tech tree. So these are all the things I've learned so far. Obviously there's a lot here, and you go up in tiers. When you reach level 10, you can access this tier and get more advanced tools and weaponry, like the iron stuff, for example. But we're pretty far away from that. Now let's see, what else do I actually need on this level? Don't really need the fire whacker, it does come in useful. Don't really need the fire pit, it doesn't really do much. The bone arrows are great, I'm going to grab some of them because they're worth it. I don't really need anything else from this part of the tree at all, in fact. to pretty much get by right up until level 10 with what we've learned so far. Now, talent. Okay. So if you're going to be playing with multiplayer, stick to these. The survival, the construction, the combat. So survival is broken down to resources, exploration, hunting, cooking, and farming. Construction is repairing, tools and building. Combat is bows, spears, blades, and firearms. But solo is just solo. And these are OP. If you play alone, they kick the crap out of anything in these trees. So definitely stick with these if you are playing solo. For example, I should not have as many blueprint points, like stuff to learn on the tech tree, as I do. But because I'm playing solo, I get an extra 6 blueprint points from these. They're pretty crazy. Right, let's go. How to detect while sneaking. That's a really good one. Right, you can see it's getting dark. It's getting hard to see. I can make a torch and wander around, but you can't hold a torch and a weapon at the same time. There's no dual wielding. I imagine that will be one of the most requested features for them to fix. If it's dark enough, you could sleep. Yep, we did. So between 6 p.m. and 7 a.m., if you get into bed, it immediately goes to 7 a.m. and the night passes. I'll go outside and it's now dark. Amazingly, this cost you no resources to sleep for, that was 12 hours or whatever. And it didn't cost me, I didn't get hungry and I didn't get any more thirsty than I was. Let's not worry about it too much. It's a game. You cannot sleep unless there is a campfire that is burning nearby, which is why I left that burning to get into bed, even though I didn't need it. Now it's still a bit dark outside, so I'm going to wait. Just give it long enough for the actual sun to come up. Right, let's eat one of those. Oh, okay. I've already got a full stack. So yes, you get all these different buffs as well. So berries, extra stamina. These are your stomach slots. Like you can only have so many things in your stomach at once. Anything else that you put in your stomach doesn't give you a buff. Cooked meat, maximum health and 20% health regeneration, which is great. And more stamina and oxygen consumption. Decreased oxygen consumption, which is great. Berries is decreased water consumption, and I think these are, exposure resistance. And the bed gives you a bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of things, which is excellent. Right, let's repair my bone knife because I'm going to need that often enough. I'm going to repair these even though I'm not using them currently, but no point in having them be broken or nearly broken. Right. So now it's getting lighter. It's probably light enough for us to travel. So let's have a look at the map. So on the map, there's this box. I've got to get to that box. It's pretty easy. I'll just follow the lake edge this way, and you will find it eventually. So like I was saying at the beginning, this is the first mission that I recommend that you do. It's quite simple. If you are like me, low-leveled, I recommend doing it cautiously and building several bases and outposts along the way, along your journey. I'll show you some tips and tricks as well, some ways to cheese the AI, because the AI is kind of dumb. There are some what should be really difficult spots, difficult parts of this mission, but they can be cheesed. They can kind of cheat and avoid any actual danger. No idea what that noise was. If you're just gonna sit there, I'm totally gonna kill you and skin you. But yeah, the AI has some issues at the moment. Like you saw, there was that bit where they just keep trying to climb that wall, and there's no way to climb that cliff face. But they keep trying. So you get a pile of animals there often. So you sometimes you go past there and there'll be 3 or 4 animals. Okay, so here's a storm. It's just minor winds, which isn't even a lot of wind, so it's not that bad. So we're not going to sketch out about that just yet. But we are going to grab the radar, which is what we need to do the next bit of the mission. And then I'm going to run back home because I don't want to be exposed to this storm if I don't have to be. you've got to leave the target a little bit. Also a wolf? No. You get achievements. I don't think they're Steam achievements. They're sort of in-game achievements. And from what I can tell, they don't give you anything. They just sort of... you slowly collect them as you progress through the game. Right, so I have done the first part, which is collect the radar. You'll see I'm now starting to get the storm exposure, no shelter warning. But if I go into my house, it'll be fine again. Now these are only minor winds. In major winds, it will start tearing your wood house apart because it's only a wood house. And that's one of the things that the game does, is the storms will tear your buildings apart. Right, there are now 3 new markers on the map. One here, one all the way over there, and one all the way over there. Those are 3 places where you have to place the radar and hang around while the radar runs. Now, as you can see, it would be pretty silly to run outside and go for a run to try and get across to one of those radar points right now, so we're not going to. We're going to wait a little bit. See, has it started hurting my buildings? I don't know if it has. So one of the other things you can definitely use is a repair hammer, which I don't have, so I will learn the repair hammer, because you do need the repair hammer. You will eventually need it. I may not need it now because this is a mild storm, so I think I'll be okay. But I'm going to build it just in case. Yeah, so you can see the durability of the structure. From what I can tell, it costs nothing to repair buildings and crafting stations at the moment, but yeah, you need the repair hammer to do it. It doesn't do it automatically. Ah yes, some building pieces will have a sheltered sign. I don't know why it doesn't now. You're in shelter, why don't you have a shelter? Okay, yeah. So on the right hand side of where it says bedroll, more restorative than sleeping on bare ground, durability 100%, and then shelter, because it is sheltered. So it lets you know that this thing is within a shelter and won't be degraded by storms. I don't think there's anything else I need to build at the moment, is there? No. Pretty good. This is a long storm. This one's lasting quite some time. Keep that in good nick. It does break very fast, the bone knife, but it does a lot of damage, so it's worth spending the one bone. After a little while, you'll find bone and leather and fur. You'll end up having an excess of it. But when you first arrive on the planet, it's always in kind of short supply. I think I can deactivate that now because there's nothing else to cook. Oh. Yeah, so you can see on the up in the top right, the storm incoming. That is the progress of the storm. So as it gets to the little, that's supposed to be a character portrait, it's supposed to be my helmet, essentially speaking. As it gets to there, that's where you're actually up to. So eventually it's going to go from being winds to being, I think there's going to be a little bit of rain before the sun comes back. Now if you look outside, you can actually see it without being exposed to it, which is good. And you can go outside for a little while. It's not going to hurt you to be outside just for a bit. So for example, I saw that guy and decided, yeah, I can afford to go over there and harvest it. Now other things that happens during the storm, you actually, oh, there's a wolf. You will actually slow down, like you'll move slower, it costs you more stamina. I'm out of arrows. That's not good. Alright, well I might as well take this wolf on with my knife then. Yeah, your stamina regen is slower and you will If it goes far enough, if the storm exposure fills up entirely, you will start losing health. There are more dangerous storms, the lightning storms especially, will set fire to all the trees and your buildings, and yeah, it can be pretty bad. Right, so now I've got excess bone and excess leather, so I'll dump them in here just for storage. I've only got one arrow left, but we can now make bone arrows, so I should make a few of those. There we are. 20 is good. Let's make 20 bone arrows. My entire stack of bone, but that's fine, we'll get more bone later. So I'm going to destroy this arrow. When I equip this, I can press hold R to change to the bone arrow, and the stone arrow should appear in my inventory? No, because we didn't have any arrows in the bow. Right, so the sun's back out again. It is now safe to traverse. So I'm going to head for this one first. It's really far, but that's where we're going to go. This part of the game is literally just running. If you invest perks into movement speed, this bit gets less arduous. But yeah, I'm literally now just going to run across the map towards that quick marker point. Now I've done this several times before, so I kind of know where I'm going. Not so much the terrain, but I do know that if you just follow the base of this mountain, you'll get around it into a little valley that goes further, and then you sort of have to follow another sort of bit, and then you can go around that, and yeah, anyway. You'll see. Now while I'm running, I will gather berries, maybe pumpkins, any oxite that I see lying on the ground is also another good one, because I now don't have the benefits of my base because I've left my base well behind. It's going to be a long time until I find my base, until I return. Right, so we have to cross this river, so we'll do it here at its narrowest point, which is just below the falls. There are dangerous things in the water as well. There are fish that will bite you and poison you, so be careful of that too. Deer and a baby deer. No penalty for killing the baby deer. I think there should be. Should have a you monster achievement or something. Yeah. Now I really should have taken a drink while I was there. I don't know where the next water is. So we might be reliant on berries for water for a while because of that. Ooh, watermelon. Watermelon helps in that regard, so we'll definitely grab those. Because they give you water. So yeah, so basically I have to follow this cliff face because I want to go there. But there's a great big mountain in the way and you can't climb the mountain. So yeah, so again, as to progress, the thing that you lose is your buildings and your resources, your weapons and your tools. Your character is persistent, so long as they don't die. If you miss your window, so you leave your character down there, and you, like for example this one, you can see the mission timer right at the top underneath the compass. All right, I know I can sneak down this bit, but otherwise I would have had to go all the way around. You can't always sneak down, so sometimes look at the cliff and go, yeah, I'm not climbing down that. I'm just going to fall and get hurt. Yeah, you can see the mission timer at the top. If that mission timer runs out and I haven't gotten back in the drop pod, then you lose your character. You lose all your skills, all your points. You have to start a new character from scratch. All your characters appear to share a money and research point pool. I don't know whether they're called research points. I don't know what they are. They're purple. There's a gold currency and a purple currency. They share that gold and purple currency pools. So you can make multiple characters and you can they can also share things that you bought on the mothership. So for example, one of the first things you'll probably buy, or that I bought, was a good knife, an MXC knife. And then you bring that down with you in the dropship. There's no way to repair that knife, but even if it breaks, so long as you take it back to the dropship, they repair it for you in the dropship, and on your next prospect, you've got it again. Those things are shared across characters, but you have to take them out of the dropship inventory to make them available to the other characters. Otherwise, apparently they stay in the dropship inventory for that particular character. Alright, we're going to start running on oxygen soon as well. Which means it might almost behoove me to... let's break an oxide and grab some oxide. Very close now. Now there are all these other things. So soybeans, I don't really know what soybeans do, but you get soybeans. A lot of these are advanced cooking things that you actually need to require different cooking methods or preparation methods. Why is it still running so poorly? It looks horrible. Using up all of my, let's go even worse, it's going to require a restart. But maybe it'll run better. Nope, doesn't look like it's running any better, does it? Oh no, the Twitch preview and the YouTube preview is just that far behind that I can't actually tell whether it's running any better or not yet. Let's refresh both of those and see what it looks like now. I don't know whether it's just them running badly or whether... No, it looks terrible. I gotta admit that really sucks. I'm gonna have to look into why it streams so badly. Best guess is it's just that harsh on your system. It does require a relatively beefy system. Oh wait, where's my marker? Oh, over there. It does require a reasonably beefy system to run, but it's not crazy. And you can drop the graphics settings really low if you want. This is, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's turn the settings back up to high, but we'll turn RTX off, which will make it look crapper. But, or do we turn DLSS on? No, we'll just turn RTX off. Maybe that'll run better. That looks a bit better. Getting better frame rate. It's still, no, it's still pretty crap. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what it is. I think it just streams poorly at the moment. Supposedly they're working on it. I did see that on the patch notes, that they actually are aware that that is a problem. Alright, I'm running low on oxygen. It's time to eat a stack. So consume the whole stack. Let's consume the stack of berries. Ah, I do have some spoiled meat now. There is a use for spoiled meat later in the game, but not this early. It's too early for it to do anything. Right, I need to get up there, and the best way to do that is to just go around this edge here on the left, and then you can climb up. It looks horrible. Like, looking at the preview, it looks terrible. The frame rate looks absolutely and utterly tanked. It looks a bit better now. Right, so this is the spot where I have to put the radar. So you go all the way over to G, you put it on the ground, it deploys. When it's ready, you hit F on it to activate.
Good.
Now,
We're reading the station.
it's going to start counting
It's
up.
active.
If you look on the left-hand side, it's going to start counting up to 100%. But I'm going to be attacked by animals. So I'm going to climb up this cliff face. And if you watch for a while, eventually the guy will say those things are not friendly, and some not friendly things will come and will attack the radar and stop it. There, we heard him in the distance. I believe it should be a pair of jaguars. Jaguars. And now the radar doesn't function.
Looks like the unit stopped. Get it back on.
But they can't see me.
Be here for a while.
Because I'm too far away and up here. So we can kill the two otherwise very, very dangerous jaguars. Now I can't get down while stealth because it won't actually let me climb down. So yeah, so that's how you cheese these missions. You just get the hell away from the radar once you've set it. There are now wolves on their way because they can smell these dead jaguars. So I need to skin these carcasses ASAP. And reactivate the radar.
Systems online.
And now there should be no more animals. It'll finish, and then you have to pick it up and go to the next mission waypoint.
We ain't done here though. Check your map for the next
So hold
location.
X to pick it up. It goes to inventory. And we have to head home. And you can see where I am. And that's where I've been. Takes a while to fill in, but yeah. So I'm going to head all the way back to the drop pod because my house is there, I believe. But I'm going to give myself some waypoints on the way. So I want to get to here first. See if I can climb down this without getting hurt. I think we'll be alright. I think we can get down here. Yeah, this bit's nice and... Oh dear. Okay, that hurt, but not much. Here's one of those caves that I was talking about. So there's some copper ore. And there will be coal and iron and stuff in there. There's a wolf, so let's run away. We won't go into the caves now. We'll save that for a future video. Alright, so let's get home. We'll refresh. It might be dark by the time we get home. So we'll probably have to spend the night there. And then we can head off for the next objective. The next objective is about as far away from our home base as this one is. So it'll take you sort of a similar amount of time. Alright, so I know to just follow the cliff face. It'll take you a similar amount of time to reach that one as well. Let's eat some berries. Oh, different kind of squash. I wasn't even aware that was a thing. Just give ourselves multiple buffs because it's just good to have multiple buffs. Ah, man. Die. Ah, man. He still managed to make me bleed, so I'm going to have to make a bandage real quick. Use that. And then we can skin this guy. Ah, broke my knife. Can repair that quickly with one bone. I've got lots of bone. And we get rid of the corpse. Yeah, so we'll spend the night at home base. We will then, in the morning, head out for point 1. the second point is as far beyond point 1 as point 1 is from home base, which, as I said, is about as far from home base as point 3 was. I just go to point 3 first because point 1 and 2 are kind of in a row, whereas point 3 is sort of like in the opposite direction. So I did point 3 first. Yeah. So when you get to point 1, you'll be able to do it, and then you can run on to point 2, but by the time you get to point 2, it's going to be starting to get dark. So I'm actually going to build another base to spend the night at point 2. So therein comes some of the leveling that I said you were going to be doing, because we will definitely be crafting more stuff. And, oh yeah, I've already leveled, so I am level 7, so let's go into talents. Now low maintenance is good, but I'm going to get the fleet-footed because the extra move speed, totally worth it. Just being able to move faster is awesome. You can outrun a lot of the animals in the game, and especially in this mission where you're literally just doing a cross-country run. Alright, so we've sort of reached our marker now. You can see it's moving over there. So now I can just put a marker at where I believe home to be and move towards that. So yeah, you'll almost certainly need a house by the time you reach marker 2, because it's just so far away that it takes you about a day's worth of travel to do both. And I think that's sort of the intended experience for this game, is for you to have outposts everywhere around different spots in the map where you need things. Because there's going to be times, for example, where you're going to want to, you've got to load the cargo container up with certain materials. You can't carry it all at once, even if there's 4 of you. So you're going to want an outpost where the materials are. And okay, now we're also running into the danger of being out when the storms happen. You hope that doesn't happen, but it does happen. So the storm is going to slow us down. We're going to move slower. But hopefully we should make it back before the storm kills us, I'm pretty sure. Now, if you do die, and you do have to respawn, you lose most of the experience you have towards your next level. So I have almost no experience towards my next level, but it'll drop me right to the very brink of level 7 and just say, right, you are level 7, but that's as far as you are. You are not level 7.5, you are not level 7 1/3 or 1/4. You are level 7, just barely level 7. So that is the penalty for dying, because otherwise just dying and respawning in your bed would of course be the preferable way to do things. Now where are we? Alright. We are on the right lake. We are even on the right side of the lake, which is kind of lucky. Literally just follow the lake edge around until we find our house. There it is, it's visible already. And we can get out of the storm. And get some real oxygen. Which is also nice. Cook any meat that we still have left. Pumpkins, maybe the squash, I don't know if that cooks. Yes it does, excellent. Yeah, so I don't really see anything on the tech tree that I really want at the moment, so I'm not going to spend any more points on that just yet. But there are assorted extra things that you can use. Most of them are decorative. Like I said, I've made my base out of the wood floor, the wood wall angled, and a door and the ramp, which makes a nice ceiling. You have to take the beam because that is the starting point. There is a thatch building set as well, but at level 5 you unlock the wood, so I didn't see any point even wasting points on the thatch set. So I just went straight for the wood. When I first played this game, of course, I did waste points on the thatch set, and then I discovered that no, that was a real waste. You really didn't need to do that. You can get by with just the wood set. You can survive long enough by digging a hole into the side of a rock that you can reach level 5 and unlock the wood set. Okay, you can find out what time it is by getting into the bed. So it's 2 o'clock now, 2:45. So it'll be a little while before I can sleep. But I don't think we'll move on until I have slept. I should have excess stuff now, more leather than I need. Don't have any spare bone at the moment, but I might put half of that fur in there. Keep the oxide that I've got. I do need more wood soon. This storm is going to finish soon, so I'm going to actually go outside and grab some wood because it's not going to hurt me. Like, the storm is going to start to hit me with exposure, but by the time it's going to finish before it does any real damage to me. I'm definitely going to need a lot of wood when I go over to point 2. I'm going to need a base over there. But I don't want to carry all of it with me. I'm just going to grab a bit. Because some of the things that I'm using actually need wood for repairs. And yeah, if the storms are severe enough, like if you're not at home and there's a severe storm, you can come back and find that your home base is destroyed. Like, the storms just rendered it useless. Absolutely and utterly destroyed it. That can totally happen as well. There should have been more wood there, but I don't know, wet somewhere. Later on, you'll also be able to make things to catch rain. Rainwater does not carry the risk of parasites, so that's always good. Yep, so I'm going to carry the 100 stack with me, but I'm going to leave the extra bit here. Some more twigs that I don't need, and there's some fiber that I don't need for once. Oh, a lot of twigs. Instead of that, I'm just going to destroy this extra stack of twigs. It's just too many twigs. I don't really need that many twigs. Yep, it's only 3:30. I've still got a long way to go. I could probably actually get to point 1 before the sun goes down. But I'm totally not going to do that. These reed flowers are used in anti-parasitic pastes. So you can make them, they just get made in your thing. So if you do get a parasite from the water, it costs 1 reed flower, 1 sulfur, and 1 charcoal. Charcoal is easy, you get charcoal out of your fireplace all the time. I see, that sound is actually you losing a buff. So when a buff runs out, it makes that noise. So let's eat that last one of those, give myself a buff back. But yeah, I tend not to worry about, especially anti-parasitic, it's like, it does little to nothing to you. Now, anti-poison, that's a good one. But you need level 15 before you get that. And see, it takes 2 spoiled meat, 1 fiber and 1 charcoal to make that. The suture kit, also kind of useful. Bears will do deep wounds that, if not cured, will become infected. Same thing with a laceration, actually. The minor wound that the wolves do to you. But that one for bears, because otherwise they become infected and like your character gets really bad, like no stamina, no health regen, moves very slowly unless you suture the wound. So suture the wound before it gets infected. Same thing with a bandage. Bandage the wound before it gets infected. I haven't seen the heat bandage. I haven't been to the snow yet. I have broken a leg. It takes a long time to heal a leg. Minus 50% duration is very good. I had to actually wait because I was at a high level, so I wasn't gaining enough points to actually get... I wasn't gaining enough experience to get another level to have points to unlock the splint because I didn't have any points available. And just had to wait out the broken leg. It took ages. So yeah, while waiting, keep your major survival resources up. Stay stealthed. It's a good idea not to just walk around all the time. The animals do, like the wolves especially, do attack. And random bears are a thing. Just be sitting there and there'll suddenly be a bear. Like, don't get caught out by a bear. They will kill you. The wolves are pretty easy. Wolves are hard in packs. The bear is pretty hardcore. Now, beyond this prospect, I have done the first combat prospect in which you have to kill a boss wolf. It was hard. I died like 8 or 9 times before I managed to kill that wolf. And I was level 16, 17 and had like iron tools. But the problem is I had iron tools. I still didn't have... I was using the MXC knife. Oh, geez. Sorry. Getting tired already. I was using the MXC knife, which does a fair bit more damage, but yeah, that thing was crazy. You did a lot of damage. That one is sort of a cross between this mission and then a hunt. So you have to run around to 3 locations to investigate places that this boss thing is. No, yes, bears sometimes travel in packs. I've only seen them in 2s. I haven't seen them in 3s. So yes, you will sometimes get 2 bears. More often than not, though, you will just get a solitary bear. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so you have to travel to 3 different positions to find first some footprints, then I think some marks that indicate that he's in a pack rather than just alone. Then you find a corpse, and then you have to wait for nightfall, and at night you discover where his lair is, and he only comes out at night. So you have to fight him in the dark, which sucks. He's got glowing sort of eyes, which kind of work. But one of the things I discovered is that you can lure him out and start the fight at night, and then run away or die. In my case, I died. And then I rested, and he was still there in the morning, so I was then able to fight him during daylight, which is a lot easier. Otherwise, your best bet is actually to make a torch and drop it on some dry grass and set fire to the whole place. Then it'll at least be lit. But alternately, you can just drop it, your lit torch, and it'll stay burning on the ground for a while and give you a small ring of light to work around. Oh, I must apologize. So like I said, I have to work tomorrow. I have to get up at 4:30 a.m. and I was awake till 4:30, 5:30 a.m. this morning. So what I did was I only slept for 4 hours so that I would be tired. Because then if I now just stay awake while tired until sort of 8 or 9 o'clock, I'll be so exhausted I will fall asleep and hopefully sleep till 4:30, which will be about 8 hours. Which will work, because then I'll get up and be fresh for work, rather than exhausted for work, because definitely don't want exhausted for work. Okay, it's now 20 to 6, so we're getting there, All right, everything is cooked, so I can turn this off. It's still not a storm that's doing any damage. Now, I don't know if that's actually related to the difficulty of the mission, and I think it is. I think the storms that you get, the difficulty of the mission defines what kind of storms you get. And because this is it's sort of a level 1 mission, like a low level difficulty mission, I don't think you get hardcore storms. You just don't. I haven't seen one in this mission before. probably afford to make a few more arrows. Don't need that anymore though, just a couple more will work. Let's eat that. So long. So there is some waiting around. Sometimes it's just like it's too late in the day to get started traveling long distances, so you're literally waiting for that hour to pass so you can sleep till morning and then get up and go. Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at sleep management for this job because after working, so I'll work tomorrow day and then Christmas Eve day, and I'll finish at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. But then I have to start work at 7 p.m. Christmas night to work till 7 a.m. Boxing Day. So that also, I have to stay awake for most of the night to go to sleep at about 8:30 in the morning, 8ish in the morning. So I tend to come home from work at 7 p.m., do a few things, stay awake till like 10ish, try to sleep till about midnight or 1, and then get up and do things. And try and stay awake all the way through till 8 o'clock. If I can't manage it, I try to sleep for just an hour and then stay awake again as long as I can. And then if I can't, sleep for just an hour and then stay awake as long as I can, right up until 8 o'clock, at which point I allow myself to go down and get a proper, hopefully 8 hours sleep. That first day is normally a nightmare. Yeah, 6:40. Time doesn't pass any faster in the bed. I wish it did. Or does it? Maybe it does. No, I don't think it is. And yeah, it says you can only sleep near an active campfire. I have to actually light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Ah. There we go. So now we've slept through the night. I can deactivate this rather than waste the wood. Not that I'm really using the wood for anything, but yeah, whatever. And it is morning. Still very dark, but it is morning. And this one is quite close. It doesn't take you very long to get to that one. That's over there to the north. So, even though it's dark, we're going to head off now because we need as much of the day as possible. If we're really lucky, we'll reach point 2 early enough that we can run back and not have to spend another night on the planet. If you don't have to spend extra nights on the planet, don't. It's really idyllic to get in and out as quick as you can. But you can't always do it, so be prepared to hunker down and build a basic shelter. Have enough materials on you to craft a bedroll so you can pass the night rather than have to just sit around and wait for the night to pass, because you use resources. You use food and water and oxygen the entire time you're awake. But if you sleep, it just goes away. Like you just wake up the next day having apparently not used any water or anything. I don't know how that works, but that is how it works. You can see the radar spot over there in the distance, the bright orange thing. So yeah, this first one, nice and close. Now, this one will be bears. This one's either bears or wolves. I can't remember which. I think this one's the bears. So we're going to start it up.
We're reading the station.
And then we're going to go away.
It's active.
And I'm going to try and climb up on this rock, because I think I might be able to get onto this rock. Maybe. What if I do this?
If you're wondering whether that thing's friendly, it ain't.
I think that's bears. So I can see from here 2 bears. Now, even if I stealth these guys, they will not go down because they are bears. Alright, now he's ticked off, but I don't think he knows where I am. Oh, yes, he does. I'm hoping he can't reach me. I think he can't. So I can literally just stand here and peg him with arrows until he goes down. Which will take a while because he's a bear. Okay, got him. And the other one's wandered off. Now that is another option for the cheese. You can literally just wait for them to go away. Because if you wait long enough, they will go away. I think we're alright. I think I can come down now. Skin this guy. Carve up the remainder of his skeleton. I do have room for more kinds of food. Put a few extra buffs in. A bit short on oxygen, so I might eat some of that. Creep back down to the radar, because the bear should be gone, and hopefully he won't see me. If he's still too close, like there, I'm going to take him on anyway. I should live. Ooh, he's level 8. He's a bigger bear. Yeah, so you definitely want to knife the bear. You will run out of stamina if you just hold the button. Got him. And you kind of want to strafe around them, because if you just keep walking backwards, they will keep hitting you, whereas if you strafe around them, they will strike and then dash past, and then you can get some breathing room to check where he is. But yeah, that's sort of the bear thing. But look, I'm on 3/4 of my normal health, but it also used up my extended health that I got from something that I ate.
Looks like the unit's ready.
But yeah, there we go. That is the bears dealt with. Repair all of these things just because as well.
You're doing good. Time to move on.
There we go.
Next marker should be on your map.
So I think I'm gonna have enough time to actually return. I should be able to get home. This is really far, but I should be able to get home before nightfall. Hopefully I don't get massacred by storms. That's always a possibility. I saw some oxide down here. We'll grab that. Really should be heading in the direction I need to, but I'm still seeing oxide, so I'm going to grab those. I'm going to give it a go, because it's certainly better if I can finish this whole thing in one video. Even if it is a 2-hour video, at least it'll be like the whole mission in one video. Oh, there's carrots. Carrots are alright as well. You can cook those too. They provide some pretty good buffs. I don't know what it is, but they also provide a buff if cooked. If raw, I think all the raw veggies just gives you a raw food buff, which is a buff. It's not a debuff. But it's pretty minor, like it doesn't give you a lot of bonus at all. It's basically saying, congratulations, you ate something. But that's about it. As opposed to, congratulations, you managed to actually cook some food, which is superior. Could stop for that oxide, but I don't want to, because I want to get a move on. Right. Again, just follow the cliff edges and you'll be fine. You'll get there eventually. Okay, let's go around that. If they're not looking at you, they don't see you. They have cones of vision. And especially if you are playing as a solo and you've invested some points into being stealthier, they won't see you. You can like walk around things. I've stealthed around bears and stuff. It's really doable, and highly recommended that you don't face things head on unless you absolutely have to. So if he doesn't see you, don't let him see you. Just keep going. Of course, it is easier for them to see you if you're running. Yeah, no worries, Jonathan. Thanks. Yeah, I'll try and have a good day at work. It's not the most fun job, but it's still a job. People got bills to pay. Yeah, have a good night, and I will see you next time. So now that one, I'm actually going to move right into his vision cone. Yep, and out of it again. So he didn't really notice me. And I can stealth him from behind. One of my buffs just ran out, so we'll add another buff. Eating some of this meat. The food stacks work kind of like they do in Ark, which is that the whole stack shares a timer. So when the decay timer runs out, one of the stack dies and you go back to a full timer. If you eat one of them before the decay stack, like when the decay stack's low, it also, the whole stack goes back to full timer. So yeah, it pretty much behooves you to just eat them when they're at full. To eat one every now and again, just to preserve the stack so you don't actually have food rot. Later on, if you're after anti-poison paste, you might want to let things rot. So you might want to split things up. Again, it works like Ark. If something is really, a stack is really close to decaying, you can split the stack, and they will all have the same decay timer, and then they'll all decay at once, which is convenient. Yeah, I think it is really, this game really is meant for multiplayer, but yeah, I'm solo. I've always been a solo guy. It's going to take a lot to convince me to stop being a solo guy. There are a few things, like I play Phasmophobia with my relatives, but that's about it. Right, now this cliff edge I know I can climb down because I've been here before. Can get it wrong and fall though, and I don't want to do that by accident. Right, I'm getting low on oxygen, so I'm going to mine this whole oxide one out and eat the stack. But yeah, this game would definitely be a lot more fun with friends. Probably wouldn't be bad with randoms either, so long as you get guys that are, you know, reasonable. It's like all multiplayer games. There are people that are good and there are people that are just horrible and you wish you never accidentally came across them. But if you're playing this with some people who are like-minded and actually trying to do it and not just trolling you, then I imagine even with randoms this game would be very enjoyable. Like I said, it has some bugs. The enemy AI is still a bit dumb in places, but it's getting better. It's getting better all the time, which is... Alright, I'm going to go and grab the water while I'm near the water's edge. There's a wolf over there, so I'm going to dodge him. Oh, that's not ideal. They want me to get close to that wolf, don't they? I didn't see where he went. So I should be able to get down here. Get full water while it's available. I don't think that chamois was running from me. I think it was running from... Chamois? Chamois? I think it was running from the wolf. Yeah, the other animals can also spot the wolves before a wolf spots them, and then they'll run. That happens too. It's not very frequent, but it does. Let's have a look at our map and see where we are. Yeah, we're close. We're almost there now. We'll definitely be able to do this and get home again. We'll probably be hampered by a storm, because I can almost guarantee there'll be another storm on the way home before we get home. Hopefully we won't die to it, but I think we'll be okay. I think. We'll find out. Alright, so there's our final point. This one is wolves. So when you place it, the radar beacon and activate it, some wolves will appear. But again, there is a place to sort of avoid them.
Well, here we are. You know what to do?
Place that there. Activate it.
Systems online.
Now, weirdly, you could just walk up onto this. Like, even if you're sneaking, you can walk up onto this. But if you stand here, the wolves AI is too dumb to go around that way. They literally just hang around here and try to kill you. So this is where I'm going to sit. Wait for these wolves to turn up. I'll probably be able to stealth maybe one.
Looks Looks like the party started. Stay sharp.
Yeah, they come. It's like 3 or 4 of them. But yeah, we'll be able to kill all of them without risking too much. Also, the AI is sometimes broken enough that sometimes the wolves get lost and can't find the bloody thing.
You lost power. You'll need to turn it on again.
Alright, so they don't know where I am. Now, I can just wait around and they will just go away. See? Can literally just stand here and let him go. Oh, I already had one of those. Give me a squash. Drop that. And then I can sneak over there and reactivate it. Hopefully without getting spotted. Because they won't come back again. It's just a one-time thing.
Looks like the unit's ready.
Yeah, they don't come back. It's just once. 89, 91, 94, 96, 98, 99, done. Now all you have to do is head home.
Well, you're done here. You did a lot more than just survive.
Right, those wolves should be down here somewhere. You can, if you're careful, climb down this cliff face, preferably over here in the corner. We tend not to break legs if you go down this way. Just going to crouch here. Set up a map marker there because that's where I want to go. Oh no, let's make it there. Right, and run for that. Actually closing on the wolf from the sounds of things. Yeah, it's a shame I had to turn RTX off. To stream this. I guess it's just too much to ask my computer because the NVENC encoder is on the graphics card. That's sort of like the whole point, is that the graphics card does all the heavy lifting because it's got a special encoder on it that makes it easier to stream. The problem is it doing that and trying to RTX, I guess, is too much for this 2080 Super. Yeah. And it'll be a while before I'm getting a graphics card, because if they stay at the prices that they are now, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. I still need to build a file server at some point, so I will definitely be doing that before I... Oh, can I get close enough to the water to drink? Yeah, there's a spot. I will definitely be doing that before I buy a very expensive graphics card. But I will have to get one eventually, because if you are going to play video games and you are going to stream them on YouTube and Twitch, you should have a rig capable of running your games at a high fidelity so that people can see what they look like if you have a cool rig, because a lot of people do absolutely turn up to watch just that. They just want to see what it looks like when it's like loaded for bear. That's our next map marker. We now head to that one. I'm expecting there to be a storm warning any minute. Alright, it's just showers. Showers is okay. We'll get exposure, but that's it. It won't be horrible. It'll just be... It'll slowly accumulate and we'll slow down a little bit, but I think we'll still make it home before this one kills us. Just gotta keep running. There's another big cave. Some of the ores are tiered as well. So for example, you need at least an iron pick to gather certain ores, but I don't know what tier works on what. I know I wasn't able to mine aluminium or platinum. There's a wolf, let's go around that. Good, you didn't see me. Where's my marker? Oh, I passed my marker already, I am. Alright, so the next one we want to go to is, let's go to the side of that lake. You can take shelter in caves. You can kill the first couple of cave denizens near the front and just go no deeper and hang around in the cave until the storm passes. That is a viable solution as well. It's not ideal, works fine. So we're nearly back to point 1, location 1. Just spat all over my keyboard there, that's great. Really need a new keyboard as well, that should be on the list of things to do. In fact, we can put the point right on the dropship now, because it is a straight shot from here. Yeah, this storm's going to finish before my storm exposure bar fills up. And that's probably due to the buffs. I believe the meat buff gives you increased resistance to exposure. The storm is getting more powerful by a bit, but not by much. There's a wolf there, so we want to go around behind him. Ah, there's corn. I don't know what the corn buff is. I don't think I've ever bothered to actually cook it. But yeah, there's corn as well. Yeah, slowing down a lot. You can hear that the breathing is labored. That's because my storm exposure is really high. It's filling up fast. But like I said, we should make it, and this storm should blow itself out before I actually take any damage. Or any meaningful damage. I might take a little bit. I might get like just bad enough that I start to take damage. But I think it'll end before it, yeah, see now I've hit exposure point. My stamina regens really slowly. I move a lot slower. It's getting worse and worse. Bar might fully fill up before the storm finishes. And then you will literally start to take damage. But you'll notice that my storm exposure is dropping already, and that's because the storm is ending. And we are also very nearly home. The dropship is just down here. Just got to get down this hill. And we're done. One last wolf for good measure. Not even going to bother skinning him because I don't need any. Right. You can't take anything with you. It is dropship cargo, but any of these things that you load in there, none of them come with you. So there's not really any point. We are ready to leave the surface. Let us return to station. Shows you that it completed all the objectives. Finished the mission. Still had 6 days, 22 hours, 21 minutes and 24 seconds left. So yeah, so you can finish this one in a sitting. That took me an hour and 40 minutes, including all my preamble. We got to level 7, which is still pretty low. I would have liked to have gotten to level 10 during that. So I might do some more things. But now, if we select this character, you see I now have 175 of this currency. So I can go to the workshop, and there are all these things that I can learn. So you have to research them first. So for example, the MXC axe costs 75 to research, but once researched, that research is shared across all the characters. And then you only have to pay, for example, for the knife, 25 to craft one. 25 for the pickaxe, 25 for the axe as well. Right. So like I said, my pickaxe is here in the cargo at the moment. So what I do want to do is actually go back to character select. Yes. This is one of the game's bugs. Sometimes your character's head just doesn't appear. But anyway, that's all right. We'll select the character. Now, they're not on the prospect, so let's check the workshop. Yep, let's check the loadout. Yeah, see, so they've got them in their dropship cargo. So if I take them out, go home, go back to character select again, go back to my first character, and go to loadout, they're there again. So you can share items across characters, but they cannot reload things into this if they are on a prospect. If they are finished on a prospect and they're sitting in the mothership, you can take things out of their dropship and put it in the group item collections so that your other characters can have access to it. So the next time I go down, I can have a knife, an axe, and a pickaxe. But I won't, because I'm going to keep going with this character that's now level 7 as if we were really doing this. So then I will go down with a knife, because I would have got 100 gold, or 100 of whatever this currency is supposed to be. Looks like some sort of R. Anyway, I would spend 75 to get the knife, to research the knife, and then I would have spent 25 to make one. So the next time I go down with this character, I will go down with the knife. All right, so that was another look at Icarus, a further look at the first real mission, a mission that actually gives you something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you're over on YouTube, definitely hit that like button. If you'd like to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the notification bell, because it's super random when I go live. I try to sort of do it the same times, but I work an 8-day week, so like it's weird because I'm not free on the same days every week. I'm free on different days every week, so I can't really set to a schedule, and sometimes things happen and I can't, even if I try like a week ahead, okay, I'm going to be free on Friday. I'm not always going to be free to stream on Friday. I'm just not going to be working on Friday, if you know what I mean. If you're over on Twitch, hit the follow button, because that's the one that helps me out there, and then go into your settings and change your notification settings if you want to catch me live. Other than that, if you need to find my Twitch channel, it is available on the banner of my YouTube channel. If you're on my YouTube channel, you can find it. And if you're on Twitch and you're trying to find my YouTube channel, it is in my About section. Otherwise, I don't know how you just auto find me. I think that's twitch.tv/Quivz_AU, QUIVZ_AU. The AU is for Australia. A lot of people think it's Quivz Gold, which is kind of cool, but no, it's Australian, the Australian Quivz. There is another Quivz out there. Amusingly, Quivz was originally Quiver, as in Quiver with Fear, which was my internet handle way back in the 90s when I was 13 and thought I was cool. And then eventually I found that there was another Quiver. So I changed to Quivz, and then I discovered later that he changed to Quivz at around the same time, because putting Zs on the end of things was really popular at that point in the internet history. That was like 2005, 2006. That's the cheeseburger era, if you know what that is. Iken has cheeseburger. Yeah, amusing little side note there. There is another Quivz out there. I am not him. He plays Battlefield and Call of Duty and things like that pretty much exclusively from what I can tell. But he does stream, and I imagine he's probably on Twitch. That's probably why I don't have Quivz on Twitch. I'm pointing over there because that's where my Twitch screen is. My YouTube screen is over here. My Twitch screen is over there. But yeah, check him out if you want. He must be pretty good. His career is much longer than mine. I've only been streaming for a couple of years. He's been streaming for like 10 years plus. Yeah. Why not? I'll plug him. Go and have a look. I'm not fighting him for the name, but I have been Quiver and Quivz for a very, very long time. So I'm not giving it up either. If he wants to actually start a fight about it, well then we'll see who can prove who's been which one for longer, I guess. Or we'll both just acknowledge the fact that I'm Australian Quivz and he's whatever he is. I think he's French. Anyway, doesn't matter. That is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. As per usual, I've rambled on at the end of the thing. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, do your notifications, and I will see you in the next one.